Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Premiere is one of the most popular video editors around, and I've had a couple of people ask me how do I edit in Premiere. So this tutorial is going to be a short introduction into the interface and basic controls to import your media, create a short video and export it for viewing. In future tutorials I'll cover workflow and more advanced features, but for now let's jump right in. Here we have Premiere Pro on my desktop. Double click to open. I also have Premiere pinned to my taskbar at the bottom, so even if the app is closed, the icon is always there. I can just click on it. So the first screen we're presented with is your home screen. Here you can either select an old project or you can click on New Project. We're going to do that in the meantime. Give your project a name, set the location, and I'm going to create a folder called Project. So we'll save it in Project. Voila. Ensure that your renderer is set to CUDA if you have, or OpenCL even. If you leave it on software only, your playback times and your rendering times are going to be very slow. If you have the option, select CUDA and just click OK. So once in Premiere, you'll see a layout similar to what's on the screen. If it's not the same, don't worry about it, you still have access to everything you need. If we have a look here, the screen is split up into multiple panels. You can take each panel and drag and drop and place it basically wherever you want. So we can take the effects panel, for instance, drag it over and have it as a tab with the source panel. Or we can have it in between the source panel and the program windows. The options are endless. Go back to the project panel or Shift 1, and we're going to import some media. You can do this multiple ways. Either right click and say import, or you can just double click and it will open up an import window, or you can open up a Windows Explorer and just drag and drop the items that you want. Here I have source. All my clips are in one source folder. I'm going to take that source folder, move that out the way so you can see it, drag it into the project window, and Premiere imports all the files. While we're here, we're also going to import the music file, and we'll do it that way. So now you have all your footage inside Premiere. Just to give you a brief breakdown, each item has its own little icon, and that tells you exactly what it is. The music track is obviously audio only, so we have an audio waveform indicating that it's only audio, and its frame rate also says 44 kilohertz, so there's no video there. The plain purple film icon means there is only video in that track. So if we play that back, it's only video, there's no audio. And the purple film icon with the audio means it is video track with audio, and when you play that back, you have audio. Like I've just done now, when you double click on a clip, it'll open up in the source panel. That allows you to see the source clip and decide what you want to do with it. Double click on a clip, it'll open the source panel, and here we can scrub through. Click on the playhead and just scrub through, or we can play. The shortcut to that is spacebar. Space to play, space to stop. And we can go through each clip and decide if we want the entire clip or if we just want certain sections of it. So to break your clips down into usable sections, we're just going to find the part that we want. I think we're going to go here. We're going to mark an in point. You can either click on the mark in or use the shortcut, which is I. Now it's selected just from the playhead to the end. If you use this clip, it's only going to use that section. We're also going to set an out point. So let's go just after he lands. And you can use either the mark out or the O. O for out point, and there you have your in and out for this clip. So you can go through each clip and decide which part of the clip you want. But before you can do anything with the clip, you need somewhere to put them all. So to create a new sequence, either right click in the project window, you can go to New Item, Sequence, or click on the New Item icon in the bottom right corner, click on Sequence. You can select from a wide variety of different sequences, but for most of us we'll just stick with the digital SLR. Let's go with a DSLR 1080p 25. As we're in South Africa, we shoot PAL. Unless you're shooting in 24 frames per second, then use the P24. Select that one, give it a name, unboxing video. Press enter or click OK. Right, so there you have a sequence indicated by its little icon. There's little tracks and a playhead, and you'll see our sequence is opened up in the timeline panel. Now we have video tracks and we have audio tracks, and we can use these to edit our video. So let's start off by organizing our project panel. You can see here that in our source folder we have all our clips. All my clips starting with A, B or C are surfing clips. Right, so I'm going to select all my clips with A. And what you do is click on the first clip, hold Shift, click on the last clip, and I'm going to click, hold and drag that to the bin icon. That creates a new bin that you can then give a name, and I'm going to call these surfing clips. But I still need to add the clips starting with B and the clips starting with C. So surfing clips are organized. Let's take our aerial clips. So for this video, I'm going to be matching up video clips to the music. So let's start with our music track. I'm going to drag that down to audio 3, and I'm using audio track 3 to make space for the audio from the video clips that we're going to add just now. Since we don't want to edit the music, we're going to lock the track, and then we're free to do any editing on the video tracks. So the first clip I want to add, I know is one of my aerial clips. Let's have a look here and see what it looks like. In the bottom right corner here, you see that the video clip is 14 seconds long, and that's far too long for the intro to a video. So we're going to select a small portion, and we do that by setting an in and out point. So let's play through, and I know that my in point I want to start somewhere around here. And we can use either the mark in, or in brackets there the letter I. I use shortcuts all the time, so I'm going to press I to mark in. Scroll forward, find the out point. Let's use this as the out point. Press O or click on the mark out. And there we have the section of our video defined. So from here we need to insert the video into our timeline, and we can do that in multiple ways. You can use the insert or comma, which will add the clip at the playhead. Or you can just click on the clip and drag it down to the timeline. Okay, so there's our first clip. So the second clip I want to use is the top-down aerial shot, and we're going to define a small in and out point here as well. So let's wait for them to start dispersing. Set that to in point, and we'll use that as the out point and add that to our clip. Then the third clip I want to use, I know, is the establishing shot of this little bird looking over the ocean. So let's find an in point and an out point here, and I know, having a look at the clip, you can see that it goes out of focus just a tiny bit. If you want to see that better, you can maximize this panel by using the tilde key just left of the number 1 key on the keyboard. And there you have a full screen view of whatever you want to look at. There we go, we start going out of focus here first. Pretty much around there, so I'm going to mark an out point right there, and let's have the in point here. Let's have the in point just when he lifts up his leg and he sits there for a while, and then we'll see him turn his head. Let's exit full screen by pressing tilde again, and now we can just drag our clip onto the timeline. You see the first two clips were only video clips, that's why they're purple. The third clip is a video and audio, and here we see that the audio is now being dragged down onto the timeline as well. So if we play this back, firstly the audio is very loud, so let's do some minor adjustments by using the audio track mixer up here in our panel. If you don't know where the audio track mixer is, you can click on Window, Audio Track Mixer, or press Shift 6 and it'll take you there. So we want to, oops, our track is still locked. Let's get our audio to around about -6. And if we go back here to the clip, we'll see that one's also very loud. Okay, let's pop a quick save, please remember to keep saving your project. Premiere does seem to crash now and then for whatever reason, especially if your computer or laptop is lower spec. It does crash a little bit more often. Right, so let's lock our music track again. And actually, if we listen to this, if you want to listen to a single audio track, you can use the solo track option. And actually, the only sound we're getting from there is wind, so we're going to cut that out. Let's mute this audio track so we don't have to hear it. And we don't hear the wind anymore. So now that we have our music track in place, we want to start editing the video to match the music. So using the plus and the minus key, you can zoom in and out of your timeline. Let's zoom in a little bit, and you see that the music only starts from about here. So what I'm going to do is trim the first clip. You see this little red trim arrow, and trim it to where we want it. Let's have a listen to the track quickly. And this is where I want our clip to end, so I'm going to trim the end of the clip. So now we have to do the same with the next clip. Let's drag that over. So let's trim the next clip down to where we want it to end. Alright, that changes in the right place. Let's move our last clip into place. And actually this is where I want the clip to end, so our clip is too short. Let's extend the clip. Yes, I know that there's going to be a bit of out of focus stuff, but let's leave it like that for our first video. So now we have a 6-second clip, but our music track is still 2 minutes 44 seconds, which is far too long for this video. So what we're going to do is trim the audio, let's trim the music track. Firstly, we're going to shrink the view of the timeline so that you can see every clip on the timeline, and you do that by pressing the backslash key. Then we can unlock the music track and trim it down to where we want it to be. Press backslash again and it zooms back into where you were, and now we have one complete short timeline. Only thing we need to do is trim the beginning of the music, because this is silent space here. We're going to use the razor tool here, which you can find in the tools bin on the left. And where the player head is, we just click there and go to the selection tool, and you can delete a clip. Right, you can delete any clip, but let's not do that. Control Z to undo. Anytime you do something and you want to undo it, especially if it's accidental, just hit Control Z and you can undo a whole series of edits. Right, quick save there. Next thing to do is cut out the blank space in the beginning of the video, and we're going to use a shortcut for ripple trim, which I'll cover in a different video. But for now, if you have any open space in the beginning of your video, move the playhead all the way to the beginning by pressing home and then press the W key, and that will trim any blank space in the beginning of the video. Last thing we're going to do is add a fade in and fade out effect to both the video and the audio, and you can do that by going to Window, Effects, or pressing Shift 7. Both will take you there. So have a look here, you've got audio transitions and you've got video transitions. Under audio transitions, we've got crossfade, and our default, indicated by the blue box, is the constant power. So let's add that to the beginning of our audio clip. You've got to drag it quite close to the beginning of the clip, and you can see that our transition is now added to the clip. And the audio fades in nicely. The same as you do with a regular clip, you can also trim a transition. Make that shorter. And let's add one to the end of the video. So the default transitions are used quite often, which is why there's a shortcut key for them. So for audio, we press Control-Shift-D for default. And you can see that it applies the default transition to all audio tracks. Now we're not worried about track number 1 because that's muted anyway, but track number 3 we just want to shorten the transition a bit. Let's apply the default video transition to track V1 by pressing Control-D with no shift. And there you go, at the end, at the beginning, and actually we can trim these down as well, because you barely see much of that video. Trim that down a bit, or trim that one down a bit. And there you go, your first video complete. Let's save that quickly. Once you've done editing your video, you need to export it before you can play it anyway. To do that, let's go back to the project panel, Shift 1 or click on project. Right click on your sequence, in this case it's called unboxing video. Right click and go to export media, or while you have your timeline selected, press Ctrl M, and it brings up the export settings window. For now, to keep things easy, we're just going to click on match sequence settings. Select an output folder for it. If you click on this name, it will give you an option to change where you save the video to. Don't worry about any of the settings for now, and we just click on export. Once that's done, you can open up your folder and view your video. And well done, you've completed your first video. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps to grow the channel and shows me what kind of content you guys are wanting to watch. So for now, keep your eye out on the next Premiere tutorial, and we'll see you next time.